an unchanged side. They drew 1-1 with Brazil. Also went down to penalties and they had maybe a bit more bottle at the back end, didn't they? Anyway, Argentina are Martinez in goal, then a back four this time of Molina, Romero, Otamendi and Tagliafico. In midfield it's De Paul, Fernandez, Paredes and McAllister, with Alvarez and Messi looking for goals. For Croatia in goal it's Levakovic, then across the back four it's Sosa, Guardiola, Lovren and Juranovic. In midfield Kovacic, Brozovic and Modric, and Perisic and Pasalic will be supporting Kramaric. Well, we're closing in on the World Cup semi-final at Lusail between Argentina and Croatia. It should be a brilliant game. There's Lionel Scaloni has made just a couple of changes from the team who drew 2-2 against the Netherlands and of course overcame them on penalties, with Acuna and Martinez replaced by Tagliafico and Paredes. For Croatia, Zlatko Dalic names an unchanged side. They drew 1-1 with Brazil. Also went down to penalties and they had maybe a bit more bottle at the back end, didn't they? Anyway, Argentina are Martinez in goal, then a back four this time of Molina, Romero, Otamendi and Tagliafico. In midfield it's De Paul, Fernandez, Paredes and McAllister, with Alvarez and Messi looking for goals. For Croatia in goal is Levakovic, then across the back four it's Sosa, Guardiola, Lovren and Juranovic. In midfield Kovacic, Brozovic and Modric, and Perisic and Pasalic will be supporting Kramaric. Well, we're closing in on the World Cup semi-final at Lusail between Argentina and Croatia. It should be a brilliant game. There's Lionel Scaloni has made just a couple of changes from the team who drew 2-2 against the Netherlands and of course overcame them on penalties, with Acuna and Martinez replaced by Tagliafico and Paredes. For Croatia, Zlatko Dalic names an unchanged side. They drew 1-1 with Brazil. Also went down to penalties and they had maybe a bit more bottle at the back end, didn't they? Anyway, Argentina are Martinez in goal, then a back four this time of Molina, Romero, Otamendi and Tagliafico. In midfield it's De Paul, Fernandez, Paredes and McAllister, with Alvarez and Messi looking for goals. For Croatia in goal it's Levakovic, then across the back four it's Sosa, Guardiola, Lovren and Juranovic. In midfield Kovacic, Brozovic and Modric, and Perisic and Pasalic will be supporting Kramaric. The World Cup, that sounds great and should be great. I'm John Hogan, joined by Harry Jones. They have literally just kicked off in Lusail. Both these teams, they're sort of mystifying. Somehow they find a way to get through, don't they? But one of them's going to have to go home. So one of these brilliant number 10s might be kicking his last ball in a World Cup, which seems a real shame, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a shame when the curtain does close, but he's going to want to go out with a bang, isn't he, John? I think he's been a player that stood out for Argentina like we expected in this World Cup. He's really dragged them through the pits from time to time so far in this campaign, and he's going to need to be on his game today because they're coming up against a really resilient Croatia side who are not going to roll over and take things easy. So he's got his work cut out for him. But this Argentina side, like you said, we mentioned off air, that they just seem to get the job done. They dig deep and they've just got results when you haven't expected them to. So I think it's going to be really...
Obviously, Messi, when you look at his record, you know, unfortunately for him, he's always going to get measured against Diego Maradona. Could do with a good number 9. But there hasn't been a better player than Luka Modric for Croatia, not at all. And he, again, I don't know if he could play till he's 40, but I have a feeling one of these guys is playing his last World Cup. Just for the moment, it is Argentina on the ball. And Croatia in a slightly sort of dark bluish strip today. Anyway, long ball over the top and a chase down the right-hand side. The cutback is there. And that wasn't a bad ball, actually. And in the end, it flies over the top of everybody. Molina getting there, and I'd kind of given up on that. He'd not, and then puts a decent ball across.
Yeah, he was waiting for somebody to just get a nick on the end of it and maybe guide it home, but nobody was really in and around the penalty area for Argentina. I think the move started a little bit too quickly. There was nobody in the box. Only Julian Alvarez was there to support him, but he was making that run towards the front post. Nobody there looming at the back post. You expect Alexis McAllister, we think, is going to be playing in that wide area, to maybe be hanging around and waiting to get on the end of it, but nobody was, and in the end it was pretty easy for Croatia, but good fight there from Molina to get there.
Perisic just lets the ball roll through his legs, but still Molina gets back and deals with that, the Atletico Madrid man, who has made a good start to the game. We had a quick word about Nicolas Tagliafico, didn't we, before kick-off. Had been linked to Leeds, who were after a left-back, but we isn't after a left-back these days. He is playing at Lyon. But I'll tell you something, he's going to have to go some to play better than Acuna, who I think has been one of Argentina's better players in the tournament so far. He's missing today, and I think will be missed anyway. We'll bring Harry in a second, just for the moment. Long ball flicked over the top. And Tagliafico won't get there ahead of Livakovic, the Zagreb keeper. I mean, if we're going through players man for man, I guess that in your team of the World Cup, Guardiola's going to be in it, and probably Modric too. So, they've got two sort of excellent players in their team, don't they?
Yeah, they have. They've got the quality there, and like you said, Guardiola there has been a real standout player so far in the World Cup. He's been fantastic at the back for Croatia. He's really shown himself on a bigger scale, where he was a bit more of a niche player that a few people knew about him and knew what he could do, but now he's shown it to the world, and he's been a real standout. I think he's going to get a big move inevitably. Chelsea are looking around at him. They're wanting to strengthen at the back, so he's definitely a player that they could use, and he's been fantastic.
Yeah, Croatia just back on the ball, and a clever ball to Sosa from Modric, of course. Then Kovacic picks it up, then Luka Modric again stabs the ball to Perisic. He floats the ball to the far post, but out then comes Emi Martinez and bowls the ball away. So those two obviously really good players then. Modric. The eye against Brazil was Juranovic, which surprised me because we see a lot of him for Celtic, don't we? And I think he's all right, but he looked like a world beater. Kept Vinicius Junior quiet. That takes some doing. In fact, didn't give him a kick. I thought he had a great game against Brazil. Yeah, he did. He was fantastic, and maybe it begs the question, when you put him in a side that's a little bit more comfortable and a little bit better in terms of quality, that he can really thrive in this Croatia side. He's definitely doing that, isn't he? Like you said, he was fantastic against Vinicius Junior, kept him quiet all game, and it was a credit to him that they managed to go through and beat Brazil. Juranovic really kept him quiet, and it was fantastic. So Croatia, definitely they'll come into this with their heads held high, and they'll be looking for a result in any way they can. But this Argentina side, maybe a little bit of a different beast. Brazil maybe expected to walk through Croatia, didn't really give them enough respect, but this Argentina side will definitely be digging deep and make sure that they're not going to take anything for granted. They're not going to underestimate this Croatia side, seeing what they've done so far in the World Cup. So I don't think they'll have that moment of being able to capitalise on the opponent's weakness in terms of not being shown respect. Yeah, I think that Brazil thought they'd won that game, didn't they? They were dominating, got the goal, and that'll be enough then. But just one goal proved not to be enough, did it? Is Perisic now? Little flick from him. Can Pasalic bring the ball in? He can, and I thought he was getting fouled there. And anyway, apparently not the case. As I think it's Tagliafico goes down. Maybe he just did get caught late there, and that was spotted by the referee. I think he overdid the dive to the ground. But anyway, that was for Daniel Orsato to work out, and he did. He's given a free kick. Yeah, he has. They're unlucky there, Croatia, because I think the referee was gone. They played the ball cross field, and Tagliafico just got there first, just took an extra stride and got there ahead of the ball. It was unfortunate, but I think it was a free kick. He got there late and took the man down. Yeah, so Argentina made the brightest start 7 minutes in, and they've seen more of the ball. I think what's happened to Croatia in the tournament will make them feel that they can sort of withstand anything. soak up a lot of pressure. They don't need the ball necessarily, do they? They'll play in the counter-attack. Zlatko Dalic has got them set up. They do have, bodies forward, Pasalic and Kramaric, but they play as a team. They'll support attacks, won't they? So the other thing is they could even go goal down. I don't think they'll be overly worried about that. I mean, not preferable, but they do soak up a lot of pressure, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They're a side who don't play with the ball much. That's a bit strange considering when you look at their midfield, you'd expect them to have all of the ball and all of the possession with Modric, Brozovic and Kovacic in the middle. They're three players who are really tidy with the ball at their feet, and you'd expect them to have the majority of possession, but they don't. They like to sit back. Like you said, they soak up the pressure and they pick on chances as and when they get them, and they've been clinical from time to time. I mean, Kramaric up front has taken nearly every chance he's been given. He's been fantastic through the middle. He's got them out of a hole a couple of times, and I think if you look back to their previous results, a lot of the time they were winning against the run of play, and it's something that we've seen them do so far in this tournament, and I don't think they're going to change that.
No time soon. Tagliafico gets a little touch there. The ball flicked on, but Pasalic, the Atalanta man, couldn't take advantage of that. The ball's gone out. It will be a throw, though, for Croatia. First opportunity for them to settle down. I would guess that there's plenty more Argentina fans in the stadium in Lusail. Very difficult to determine. I guess the volume would tell its story about that. But Croatia have their fans as well. We've seen them through the tournament. But I wonder if that makes any kind of difference. I don't suppose it does to Croatia. And, and also I think that they've been a good tournament team for so long now. And it's the same guys rolling it out, time and time again. Anyway, just there, Perisic trying to put the ball around the corner for Sosa. But well done, Molina. He was aided and abetted there by Romero, and they've come away with that. But so far, I mean, a decent start, but Croatia haven't really landed any kind of blow. For Argentina, they see more of the ball. We yet to see Alvarez on the ball. We saw a good cross from Molina. That's about it. So I don't know about cagey start, but very competitive start this.
Yeah, it's been competitive, but just waiting to see whether when Lionel Messi will kick into gear. It's a real trademark of his, isn't it, to basically walk around the pitch for the first 10 or so minutes. It's what he does. He likes to assess the game. He does a lot of looking and watching with his eyes while he's just at a walking pace, and then after 10 minutes then he kicks into gear, and that's when he starts to create, and that's what he's done throughout his whole career. So we're coming up to that 10th minute, so it'll be interesting to see when he does start to kick into gear.
Yeah, if that ever happens, is again Guardiola is superb, comes to win the ball, and he does. Not a great back pass from him. We always talk about World Cup and players, sort of stating their case, sort of come and get me, I'm good enough to play at the level and all that. There's no doubt that Guardiola, there'll be a host of clubs after him. I was thinking about all those Brazil players who, you'd almost be taking a few pounds off some of those guys who didn't really impress at all against Croatia. They kept chopping in chat. I didn't think Rafinha had a particularly good World Cup. The Barcelona man, not sure he'd be necessarily worth 50 million squids now anyway. It's funny, some players catapult themselves and others have a bit of a quiet time. Anyway, Modric on the ball, and he looks like he could go for 4 more years. I think Lionel Messi as well. It always seems that the better players can play on for longer, don't they? And both seem to have pretty good engines, really. Anyway, Brozovic wins the ball. Kovacic carries it on. And then they're able to play out the left-hand side with Sosa just over the halfway line. His little ball forward wasn't good enough for Perisic, but Romero flies across. Probably didn't need to do that. Don't think that Perisic was ever going to get it. Anyway, those two will know each other fairly well from training. Perisic takes his throw, finds Kovacic. The ball goes back to Guardiola, and then Lovren, who it's almost like a forgotten man. It's like, well, he played in the Premier League and now he doesn't. So it's like, I've forgotten completely about him. But one thing he can do is cross the ball really well. We saw that for a brilliant goal that Croatia scored in the tournament, and from deep he wings in a beauty. One thing about Croatia is that there's loads of height about them as well. They wouldn't have it all their own way in this game. Romero and Otamendi strong at the back, but I think that Croatia would be a slightly bigger team, and also in their subs as well. Anyway, we'll ask Harry that in a second as Argentina come over with the ball, and McAllister looks like he got caught in midfield by Modric there, who just smiles, and I think the referee may have been mugged there, was he? I thought he'd lost the ball, McAllister.
Yeah, the ball had got away from him, but he was smart there to initiate the contact with Luka Modric, so he knew what he was looking for. He came in and went down under the contact. Modric made the most fouls so far in the World Cup for Croatia, so maybe McAllister's done his research. He realised he can get something out of Luka Modric there, a player who's fantastic on the ball, but he's been a little bit accustomed to bringing a player down so far in this tournament.
Pasalic tries to run through, but Otamendi read that one, and a little ball finds Enzo Fernandez, and now they're trying to find Alvarez down the left-hand side. He scoops the ball back on his inner, and then is there a free kick at the edge of the area? Well, no, according to Sato, who's claiming that Lionel Messi dived, seemingly, because he wasn't having any of that. We need to take another look at that, because I'm sure you were watching the ball, and I was. Messi looks like he's going to run through, maybe onto a ball, and then he goes down, which seems a bit odd.
Yeah, he went down. It looked as though, I mean, I only caught the last bit of it. Obviously, like you said, we're watching the ball there, but it did look like Messi went down pretty convincingly. So I'm not sure whether he would dive there, especially given the ball in behind. He probably would have got to it, so I'm not sure whether he'd go down on purpose, knowing that he could get to the ball. But Sato definitely didn't see anything in it, as there's a long ball over the top.
Yeah, good ball as well, and that provided sort of a half chance there. Anyway, Juranovic it was, nearly getting on the end of that, springing a surprise. We're looking at Messi going down, and I'm none the wiser from what we've just seen.
Yeah, it's definitely contact, but I'm not sure whether it's enough for him to go down. That's the thing. Guardiola wasn't really even watching the ball, he was more so just looking at Messi. Steps across him, and he does go down. I think there is contact. Sato was pretty definite in his decision, like we said. He was very stern in the fact that he was not going to give a free kick there, so I guess the referee knows best.
Or not. Anyway, it is Croatia on the ball, and it just comes off the chest of Kovacic. It's actually done well to find Brozovic. That move was dying anyway. Yeah, Juranovic there just flying forward in that last Croatia attack, and sprung a little bit of a surprise, didn't he? And he's done that throughout the tournament, really. He's playing with bags of energy. Anyway, ball with Sosa, who looks a little bit limited out this left-hand side when Croatia go forward. And it is Zlatko Dalic's team who has seen a bit more of the ball. Lovren, decent ball to Juranovic, who does well to recycle it to Modric, trying to find a way through challenges, and well, he knocks off the first and he gets the ball out to Juranovic, and they've won a corner kick. That was really good stuff, wasn't it? You know, just shrugging off would-be challengers from Argentina and doing a good job. He saw off Fernandez, and then it was a good ball. And then Juranovic's cross is blocked at the expense of a corner. But like I said, they're a big team.
Yeah, they are, and Modric did really well there. Nobody could get near Enzo Fernandez, closing him down. Tagliafico had to step back and watch the overlap, and he did that. He got the block. It was a vital block because it was looking like it was a good move working out.
Yeah, they take the corner kick short now. Juranovic on the run round, puts the ball to the far post. Lovren tries to get there, and two Argentina players go down. Don't know if they bumped into each other. The ball went harmlessly out, I think off Lovren's head in the end. But yeah, he seemed to tag two defenders for the price of one there. Romero's one of them, and I'm not sure who the other one is, but I
think it's Otamendi. I think they look like they clashed heads. They're both back to their feet though, so they'll be okay. But they're both going for the same ball there. A bit of a unfortunate accident between the pair.
Yeah, so Romero just rubbing his head and tying his lace in the walls there as, well, maybe Martinez might take this one short. He's got Otamendi and Romero both in the box. We haven't seen Alexis McAllister much going forward yet. The Brighton man, he'd been a good link player for this team. Seems to keep finding himself at the edge of the D, and he sort of goes into good positions. Anyway, long ball But he'll try to get the best of it. Comes away, wins it. Just a drop of the shoulder, and then he finds Sosa. His ball is good for Kramaric. He's able to bring that one in. He did have a running Pasalic to find, but it would have been a risky ball. He decided to recycle it. And Modric has given the ball away in midfield. But they worked hard to win it back with Brozovic, who then finds Sosa. And they've got bodies forward here. The ball took a wicked deflection, did it? Or did he just stuff it over the top of the crossbar there, Sosa, anyway? I think the latter, and that will be a goal kick.
Yeah, it wasn't a great ball. I thought, like you, that it was going to go out for a corner. I thought it took a deflection. I didn't know he would be able to even get the ball that far across the goal and over the top. But the linesman pointed at the penalty area and gave a goal kick. But Croatia definitely looking better in this first half so far. They've in possession. Brozovic is dropping very deep alongside Lovren and Vardy, so setting up with quite a rigid back three in possession, and it's working out for them because they're happy to keep the ball, and Argentina not really doing their best to press them. So far, Argentina are the ones that are looking like they need to really kick into gear and start things going.
Yeah, I know you had a sneaky fancy for Argentina. I think the way the game started, they looked pretty good, but maybe getting a little bit frustrated, and it might be one of those nights again for them. And again, I'm sort of minded by the fact that Croatia got a bit of height about them and could win a few set pieces. Kovacic runs down a blind alley, and if he got fouled then, he's done a good job because he was going nowhere. Romero can't help himself, can he, sometimes? He just boots his ankle. You know, he was going nowhere then, and that's it's so typical of Romero, who's a player I don't really rate that highly.
No, like you say, Kovacic going nowhere. Both Paredes and Romero were there looking to take the ball away from him. He didn't have a teammate in support. He's just thrown a leg out. It's really rash, and that's a word that you seem to use quite a lot when it comes to Christian Romero. Is rash, and sometimes his decision making isn't quite the best. He needs to be a bit sharper there and realise that Kovacic isn't going anywhere. He's not really a threat to his own goal, so just stand him up and wait for the ball to come to him.
Yep, they do have Lisandro Martinez, but prefer Romero. I mean, Martinez has his fans, but he's not big, is he, for a centre back, and that kind of bothers me really, and particularly in the game today against a big, strong, physically tall team. I think, you'd go Romero, but just for the moment they're struggling to make any traction. Molina's giving the ball away, and then it's one in the midfield. Good work by Brozovic, and then Perisic on the ball. He goes backwards to Sosa, and Croatia just getting into the game an awful lot more. Modric then flirting with disaster, but Alvarez can't grab hold of him, and again Sosa on the ball. Poor touch from him. It wasn't a good pass to him. He looks like the weak link for me. Borna Sosa just not seemingly having a good game. Anyway, for some reason Scaloni having a word with Rodrigo de Paul. I don't quite know what that's about, but clearly they're going to have to tweak their tactics because it just doesn't look like they're going anywhere at the moment, Argentina.
No, it doesn't, and it's been a bit of a common theme so far in this World Cup. They've started fairly slow in a lot of their games, or in maybe one in the group stage, but they need to find something here. It seems as though they only really start to kick on in the second half when they're sort of desperate for it, but for now they can't really hold the ball. That midfield two of Enzo Fernandez and Paredes, they're not really getting control of the game. They're being outworked by the midfield of Croatia. I think Rodrigo de Paul's been pretty non-existent so far. He's not really had much of the ball either, so they're not really making things tick. They've got quite a narrow formation with both McAllister and Messi liking to like to drift inside and operate in the middle of the park, so they're not really using the width, and when they are getting the ball in the middle of the park, they're getting outrun by Kovacic and Modric and Brozovic, so something needs to change.
Yep, and here he is, Lionel Messi looking to make that change. He scampers across. Oh, it was so nearly a good ball. That McAllister just drifting left hand side, but then Kovacic's gone on a run. Beat 1, 2, 3. You can't beat them all. I thought there was a foul there to bring him down by Leandro Paredes. Just because he managed successfully to hurdle that bad challenge, the referee has not given it, but I think that was a free kick.
Yeah, he made the attempt to go in. He pulled out at the last second, but there was still enough in there, I think, to give it for Kovacic, because definitely halted his run. So I think that was a free kick, but it's fallen to Messi here.
Yeah, it's just inside the box there. It didn't quite work out. McAllister, it was who was driving forward there, and he had a dive. But then the clearance hit the chest of Messi. He couldn't quite react quickly enough, and all that's led to next to nothing. Dominic Livakovic with the ball in his hands. What I've got to tell you, though, we're halfway through the first half, and neither goalkeeper has been tested. Which is a bit disappointing, but sort of understandable all at the same time. Hogan, and now to take us through to half-time, here's Harry Jones.
Yeah, Croatia trying to play out from the back, but shut down pretty quickly by McAllister. The Brighton man did well to close Modric down, so they will have the throw-in on the far side. Go straight into the feet of Luka Modric, and now Juranovic trying to play out. He's not really done the best of it though, but he has managed to get another ricochet off an Argentina shirt, so they'll have another throw-in on that far side, but they definitely look the better in possession now. As I say that, Kovacic gives it away pretty cheaply, but once again they get it straight back. Lionel Messi back down to his walking pace that we see from him time and time again. Not really playing any attempt to get the ball there either from Messi, so he's looking pretty stagnant as it stands, but Modric on the ball and Croatia looking a lot more lively, and dropped it back in towards Brozovic. He's drifted it out now to Sosa. They've got a lot of space on this left-hand side. Perisic looking to add a bit of more additional support on this left-hand side. He's dropped back to cover for Sosa, which I think is an advantage that they'll definitely take Croatia. Perisic can always switch over with Sosa and occupy that left-back role, and as he does for Tottenham, so he's defensively sound, and two can happily switch over as and when they want. Good versatility on the left-hand side for Croatia, as now Argentina let the game settle down with Messi, who's dropped very deep now to try and orchestrate from a bit of a deeper area, sort of the areas that he thrives in, getting the ball from deep and makes things work. He's now out towards Paredes, and now Fernandez helps it on further. It's a really good ball down the line towards Tagliafico. He does really well to try and keep it in. It does stay in though, but the ball towards the back post, nobody was home. Sosa will clear further down the line, but it will go out for an Argentina throw. But good work there by Tagliafico to get the ball off the byline, just nobody was there.
Yeah, again, I mean, second time we saw that Molina first couple of minutes got to the byline, but there's nobody there. You know, Alvarez doesn't have the instinct to bomb on. He's more second striker lane back, first shot on target, and there we saw Livakovic just having to make ground to his left-hand side, and he just about gets there to do it. In the end, it's a relatively comfortable save, but I don't know if the shot was on target or hitting the post, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, it was a good effort to snap at the shot, really. He didn't really have much time to set it up. As though Messi wanted to take it off him, but went himself. He said maybe the first shot on target there as Messi there dispossessed in the middle of the park, and a ball through to Kramaric. That would have been very dangerous if it made its way towards the intended target, but the ball was just slightly ahead of him. And Emi Martinez was there to sweep up the danger, but Kramaric looked in a dangerous position there. The defence was split, Otamendi and Romero in no man's land, and Croatia looked to punish, but the ball wasn't quite as good as Kramaric would have liked.
No, I mean, yeah, like you say, they were just ball watching, weren't they? And what's a simple ball through the middle might really have, paid dividends, but not quite good enough. And that's it just yet. It's a game of scraps, isn't it? And not even half chances, quarter chances at that. You know, that shot from Argentina is first one I can remember, really. That we saw. I wasn't sure who did that. As again, Lionel Messi caught on the ball. Kovacic runs away one more time. They try to foul him, but they can't. And now he finds Kramaric. Here comes Croatia.
Yeah, challenge goes in there from, I think Tagliafico was scrapping to get back into position. It is Tagliafico. He's brought down Kramaric. A beautiful spin from Kramaric to get away from Rodrigo de Paul. Kovacic gets away from de Paul really nicely. They three challenges there. I think the referee gave advantage a few times there in favour of Croatia because they were just trying to drag him to the ground, and Kovacic so pressure resistant. He's fantastic in them sort of areas, and he did well to get the ball out towards Kramaric, who then spun away from the challenge from Tagliafico, but they've got a really good chance now from the free kick.
Just looking at that shot from Argentina, Enzo Fernandez it was, and it looked like it was probably going to hit the post and then go out. I guess that you've got to cover that if you're Livakovic. He made the save anyway, but it wasn't going in. But this free kick, Mike, it's in a decent area.
Yeah, it's a good chance to throw some of the bigger bodies forward. Lovren's in the box, as is Josko Gvardiol. Modric standing over it. Probably slightly too far to go for goal. But Modric looks like the man who's going to take. Will Sosa have a go from range? He won't. He stepped over it to allow Luka Modric to float one in towards the penalty area, headed away there by Enzo Fernandez, and it's fallen towards Lionel Messi, who's trying to dance around bodies, but he's toying with danger there. But they've got out of a nice pocket of space there, Argentina, and they've got a chance to break now. Rodrigo de Paul has options forward. He's tried to switch ball over to the far side towards Julian Alvarez. It's headed away there by Luka Modric, who was racing back to cover for his defenders, who had gone forward for the free kick, but they've tried to play out there, Croatia, and Ivan Perisic just maybe trying something a little bit too fancy, because the ball's gone out for a throw. Argentina get it back underway quickly as they want to keep up this pressure on the Croatia defence. It's with Paredes. Otamendi now helps it on further to Tagliafico. Makes an overlapping run, but he will receive it actually on this time. He's got a further option forward in McAllister, who can't get to the byline. It was a heavy pass from Otamendi. Slightly lazy there from the defender to pick out his teammate. So Croatia will have the goal kick. Argentina growing into the game slightly, but just a bit of sloppy play letting them down.
Yeah, it was. Perisic, like you said, being way too cute with, trying to play out from the back there. Again, we look at that save, Livakovic. There's not much else to look at, really. I fancy Croatia here. We're about half an hour in. I was umming and ahhing about this game. I don't know what it is about Argentina. Whenever I see Lionel Messi go deep, I feel it's because his teammates aren't getting him the ball. I don't want him to play back in his own half. I want to see him just the edge of the area, dropping his shoulder and thumping the ball in left-footed. That's what he does. When he has to drop deep, he can do all sorts of things. But he's unlikely to beat 8 players to score a goal. He's pretty good, but I don't think he's got that in him anymore. Anyway, Croatia has seen enough of the ball, and I just fancy a set piece might separate these two teams this time round.
Yeah, as Emi Martinez scrapping from his goal line to try and stop the ball going out for a corner kick. He did well to get there, the Aston Villa goalkeeper, but he could only help it out further for a Croatia throw on the far side. So they'll have a chance now to get bodies in the box. Juranovic throws towards Modric. They've got the option of Brozovic making the overlapping run. He did really well to get in a nice pocket of space, but he's been ushered out towards the corner flag. They did well to hook it back in towards field, and Enzo Fernandez will pick up the scraps, but they've just seemingly trying to scrap the ball away here, Argentina. They're not really being able to play out from the back. It's almost a little bit desperate from the South American champions. As put the ball over towards Sosa. Sosa in towards Perisic, goes back in towards Sosa, but it was a heavy ball from him. Rodrigo de Paul will chase it down. It's got all the way back to the goalkeeper. Now they'll have to try and play out from the back here, Croatia, under a bit of pressure. Gvardiol with a really nice turn away from the incoming run. He's done well to evade the press there, and there's a lovely nutmeg there from Luka Modric inside his own half to beat the first man, and now in towards the striker in Kramaric. They're looking to break forward now, Croatia. They've got overlap on this far side. It's out towards Perisic. Got his head up, looking to maybe get a ball in the box. Will he go for a shot? He's tried to go for goal there, and it's gone over the crossbar. Maybe took a deflection off. Perisic's claiming it's a corner. He said it touched the Argentinian player, but referee's pointed for a goal kick. He won't get the decision in his favour. We'll have to watch the replay.
Yeah, and this is where you want Perisic, really. I think he did scrape off. Let's take another look at it. He's adamant, but that doesn't mean to say it happened. Less obvious when I look at it again from behind. Ball didn't deviate, did it? So... anyway, he's trying to catch Martinez on the back foot there, which he did, but the ball never came down, did it? They want to put him. Oh, here's a chance for Argentina.
Yeah, Alvarez with a ball over the top. He's gone for goal, and he's been brought to ground. The referee says a penalty. Argentina will have a penalty as Julian Alvarez is brought to ground there by the goalkeeper Livakovic, and they will have a massive chance here now, Argentina. Alvarez tried to dink it over the goalkeeper. It wasn't going to go in. There was Gvardiol, who was running back to clear it off the line, but he's been brought to ground. The goalkeeper got no touch on it, so Argentina will have a chance to open the scoring here.
Yeah, so out of nothing then, long ball forward, and all of a sudden Julian Alvarez is bearing down on goal. Livakovic has got a yellow card, and he took a blow in that sort of collision as well. Kovacic has found himself in the referee's notebook after that as well. I don't know why. I mean, let's take a look. Who's that ball from? Is it Fernandez? I'm not sure. It's a good one. And then the two come together. Let's take another look at it. Flicks the ball over him. Oh, not for me. Livakovic tries to block the ball, and then there's a kind of collision. I don't think... does Livakovic have to make himself invisible as soon as the ball's been touched? I don't think it is. I mean, he's been given VAR. It doesn't look like it's going to be overturned. It's such a weak decision, that, for me.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate the way that the ball wasn't going to end up in the back of the net. I think it's a different story if there's nobody back and the ball's rolling into an empty net. But it was never going in. And
well, there's no doubt there was contact, but every bit of contact in it, I believe it's still a physical game, and not every bit of contact is a free kick, is it? Sometimes players bang into each other, fall into each other. Oh dear. Anyway, Lionel Messi's got the penalty kick. It's another bad decision in the World Cup, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Lionel Messi, the inevitable man, playing probably his last tournament for Argentina. He's never got his hands on a World Cup. It's always been his dream. He's never had that claim to fame. He's done everything in the game. Emi Martinez can't watch. He's kneeling, looking away from the goal. This will be a massive moment for Argentina and Lionel Messi himself. He steps up left-footed to take the penalty, and he fires it home in the top right-hand corner. No chance of the goalkeeper getting a hand to it. And that man, the best man in the world at the game, he scored to give Argentina a lead in this semi-final, and what a massive goal this could prove to be.
Yeah, absolutely huge, that. We talk about them finding a way, and oftentimes they do, but just aided and abetted by a terrible decision. Absolute shocking decision. I don't know what Livakovic has got to do there, make himself invisible. I mean, he's come out to block the ball, he makes his stand, he's there to block it, and then the next thing, I think Alvarez sort of, runs into him. You couldn't give him a free kick the other way. It's just one of those things. It's just ridiculous. But you've got to credit it's a pressure situation. Then Messi steps up. Livakovic is brilliant at penalties, but nobody's going to save that one. It's hit right into the roof of the net. Absolutely smashed it in. And there you go. And the Argentina fans in the crowd, of which there are many, celebrating that, and that's a great start for them.
Yeah, Argentina's top scorer at the World Cup. He overtook Diego Maradona's record in the group stages. He's now on 11 goals in the World Cup. He never scored in a knockout round until this year. And now he's looking like the man to drag them to the World Cup final. It'll be some performance in this year's World Cup from Lionel Messi to get his side into the World Cup final. You definitely would put him as the reason why they're in the position they are right now. He's been absolutely incredible for this Argentina side. No signs of slowing down in the latter stages of his career. If anything, he's looking just as good as he did in his heyday when he was playing at Barcelona. And now Argentina are in a lovely position going into half-time. Around about 10 minutes till the break, and they've now got their lead against Croatia. Just begs the question whether they can hold on or whether Croatia can keep up the pressure that they had earlier on in this first half. They're going to have to spirit a performance to come back.
I wonder, because on our TV coverage they're getting the opinion of Peter Walton. According to Alan Shearer, great run from Alvarez, finds himself clear, wide open, dinks over the goalkeeper, and Livakovic trips him. For me, he said it was the right decision. I just don't see it like that at all. But I guess that's why football's great. Everybody's got an opinion. What did you think, Harry?
I think I would have said it was a penalty. I think it was just the way he went down. Maybe you could ask the question, he could go around the goalkeeper there if he doesn't go down and tap into an empty net. He's been brought to ground. Goalkeeper's not won the ball. He's missed the ball at the end of the day. He's there to stop it. If he gets a touch on the ball, it's definitely not a penalty. The fact that he's not got any contact on the ball, I think you have to give it. I think Asato has to give it. It's a clear-cut chance. He's put it past the goalkeeper. He's beaten him technically. If there's no players on the line, it's going in. So I think it probably is a penalty. But I see where you're coming from. It's difficult for the goalkeeper because he can't move. He can't get out of the way. He's tried to save it. I think
one thing, he goes to close the angle down and then he stops.
and yes, he didn't make a save, but then he stopped. He's not moving anymore, and then it's contact. So it's not like, well, I didn't get it, and then I've gone to get him. It's just like he stopped, players dinked it, and then thought, oh, well, that's not going in. So I'll try and, make sure that I tangle with him and get contact. I mean, for me, you'd have to know what's in Alvarez's head there. But I don't. I think the goalkeeper moved, then set himself. Then, he was just there. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what I think about that, because that ball's not going back in the bottle, is it, kind of thing. Anyway, up to Croatia now. There's plenty of time for them to put that wrong right, if they think it is. And Juranovic there has made a good start. He's won a corner kick off McAllister. I didn't think that this was going to... I thought Croatia would have to score maybe a couple of times to win this game. And I still don't think it's beyond them, Yeah,
they've got plenty of time. They've got time on their side, which is a blessing right now. And they definitely can hold their heads high with how they've started this game. They've been very good and very sharp in this opening half. But it's going to be a bit of a difficult task now, being 1 goal down. They've got to really dig deep. Praise them for their ability to find results out of nowhere, so they've got to just do it one more time to get themselves into a World Cup final. But Argentina look to break now after the corner kick, and they've got bodies forward now. They're bounding through on goal with Julian Alvarez. There's an overlapping run there, but Alvarez is going to go himself, and he maybe been a bit too greedy, but then he's tapped into the net, tapped it past the goalkeeper. Livakovic wasn't going to bring him down there because the ball was already in the back of the net. Wheels away in celebration with Lionel Messi, and it's a splitting counter-attack, a really dangerous break from the Argentinian side. And Alvarez, he's done it all himself. He had the options, he had the teammates in support, but he didn't need it. He's gone himself. He took a lucky deflection, but take nothing away from the finish, and now it's going to be really difficult for Croatia.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, I think what was important there is that Alvarez had his teammates either side of him. They couldn't double up on him there. They couldn't commit to him. And then he got a barrel full of luck as well, didn't he, when he's running through. When the ball breaks out, and it's a brilliant break from them, they're in the clear, aren't they? And what is it? It's more or less 3 against 3 when they're running through. Now, he keeps on going with the ball. I think one of those guys that runs past him is offside anyway. He gets one lucky touch off Juranovic, who got a touch in. Then Sosa gets a touch of the ball. But it rolls up the leg of Alvarez, and then it makes it easy to finish. So he's run through 2 challenges, and then the easy thing there, because Livakovic doesn't expect he's ever going to get through that far. He just volleyed the ball past him.
Yeah, it's a really good finish from Alvarez. He made the move around about the halfway line after Messi was brought to the ground. But take nothing away from him there. It was fantastic. He got a stride of luck there, but nothing was going to stop Alvarez from going for goal. He was a man possessed, bearing down on the goal. He won the penalty. Messi stepped up, scored. He's now scored a goal for himself, and he's having a fantastic game so far, Alvarez. Done everything right so far as it stands. He's not really had too much to do, but everything he has done has been pretty spot on. But up the other end now, Croatia are looking to find something now, and well, we've praised their ability to come back, but they've got a real tough task now. 2-0 down, only 40 minutes into the game. They've got to really find something to get back into it. But Lionel Messi now looking to get into his stride, and he's still moving forward here. Messi, nobody can get near him. He's played a really nice ball over the top to the far side, and Enzo Fernandez will pick it up, just slow things down slightly before entering the penalty area. Drops it back in towards McAllister on the edge of the box. Now towards De Paul. De Paul will go from range, and it just ricochets off Guardiola. He's claiming there was a handball there. Referee Daniel Sato says nothing. I think it will be a corner. Definitely claiming a handball there. We'll just have to see another replay as he shoots. It does hit the arm, but it's completely down by his side. There's nothing Guardiola can do there. It's really hugging his outer thigh. So I don't think it is a penalty. I think it's definitely a corner.
He's clever there, isn't he? Anyway, the defender, because he's defending with his arms behind his back, but then he moves his arms toward the ball and it's shot. But it's still like, well, his arms are sort of inside his body. Rodrigo De Paul is bothering the referee that much that he looks fed up with him now. And it's just a corner.
Yeah, corner on the far side. Messi standing over it. He's just asking for a word of the referee. No, I think he's allowing play to continue, so he will get the corner taken now. Messi with the left-footed Going to be an out-swinging ball in towards the penalty area. There's a couple of players hanging around the edge of the area. Paredes, Fernandez, De Paul, all there. But Messi will deliver it into the penalty area. It's a really good header and a great save by the goalkeeper, Livakovic, really saving his side there. Alvarez with a beautiful glancing header towards the goal. It's Alexis McAllister who gets there. Alvarez can't get a touch on it. It's a fantastic save by the goalkeeper. It'll be another corner though.
Yeah, from close range, he gets his full beef behind that. Down into the ground, textbook from McAllister, but what a save. Just instinctive stuff from Livakovic. That goes in, that's game, set and match, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic save there from Livakovic. He was at fault for giving away the penalty, but he definitely was saving his side there, as got a beautiful reactional save to deny Alexis McAllister. There was a slight touch off Borna Sosa as well, as Lionel Messi just slowly walked over towards this near side now to take the other corner that resulted from the save from Livakovic. Messi will take the next corner and it goes in towards the penalty area. Livakovic commands his area, punches away, and Luka Modric will help it out further. But it will only go out for a Argentina throw on this near side, so the Argentinians have really ramped up the gears now and really finding their feet, putting on some serious pressure for this Croatia back line. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon as Molina comes over to take the throw-in. Goes in towards De Paul, and now Messi back to Molina, and this is beautiful play from Argentina to get out of a pocket of space, but they've been dispossessed there by Mateo Kovacic, the Chelsea man. Tried to break away, but a good challenge came in from Romero to deny him. It will be a throw on this near side, around about halfway in favour of Croatia. Take it with Perisic, go back towards Vardiol, and they're looking to just settle things down now, Croatia. They're going to need to, because Argentina are piled on the pressure that it's so comfortable in the opening 20 or so minutes, Croatia, but since the 2 goals, they've had none of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they were desperate having gone a goal down, and then they overcommitted, didn't they? And it's not like them, because I know they were keen to get back in it, but usually they always keep a good shape about them. You know, and Zlatko Dalic there in his technical area is just saying, look, lads, you know, there's a long way to go. You know, this is a team who, if they get 1, can get 2. You know, just need to keep going at it. I played actually quite well this first half, but just been undone a couple of times, haven't they? Alvarez running through. Yeah, I mean, players like Messi, catch the eye. I'd seen Alvarez a few times for Man City this season, and just saw the green shoots. You know there's a good player in there somehow, somewhere. And it's just trying to adjust and settle down into that team. Difficult playing second fiddle to the Norwegian, isn't it? But anyway, here come Croatia, just the edge of the box. Maybe a chance for them.
Yeah, Modric has a shot from range there. It's blocked by Otamendi, but it's found its way out towards the right-hand side. The ball comes into the box. Emi Martinez saves it initially, but it seems as though the ball might have already gone out. I think the linesman may have given a goal kick, actually. It might not have. Pasalic was arriving, Martinez with a good save. It looked like it was going in from the cross, but he was almost caught out there, Emi Martinez. He did well to get down and deny, but Pasalic followed it in, had the shot, but he could only find the outside of the netting. So a good chance for Croatia late on in this first half, but it seems like everything they're throwing at Argentina is just not their day, is it? Something's just not sticking for them.
Yeah, they're not creating that many chances, are they? They've actually played quite well and had plenty of possession. Been the key moments then. You know, Alvarez has found a way through. You know, if he's running at Guardiola, you don't think he's going to make it stick. But once he was by himself, one-on-one, how did he do that? And secondly, when he ran through 2 challenges, it was both the 2 fullbacks. So I don't know who had taken Guardiola away, but had done a good job. Maybe it was Messi. But anyway, into 4 minutes of added time at the end of the half now.
We've already played 10 minutes of it, so around about 3 minutes left of this first half, and Argentina with the ball all the way back with their goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, almost glued to his byline there as he sends a long ball forward, looking for the flick on from Tagliafico, but it'll be picked up by the Croats in midfield inside the Argentina half. Referee looked like he was going to blow for something there, but he's allowed play to continue. Messi now on the ball on halfway, did really well to evade the challenge from Guardiola, and he's dragged him out of position, so Molina will have a chance to make inroads down the line, but that was a poor ball back from him. Rodrigo De Paul bailed him out of a sticky situation there, and Messi, another one who's done very well to get the ball away, but they won the ball back there with Messi. He's taken a lucky deflection off the face of the Argentina captain, and now he's just hanging around with the ball inside his own half. It just seems like every time he has the ball they can't get near him, which is no stranger to that sort of situation. Messi never seems to ever be dispossessed, but a nice ball down the line there from Tagliafico, picked out Julian Alvarez. He's waiting for support, tried a ball in the box, it's ricocheted off Brozovic, but I think the linesman is going to give it offside there to Julian Alvarez, so I don't think it will matter, as Croatia will have a chance to steady play again.
Yeah, I mean, when he was a young fella, they got a lot of steroids into him, didn't they? And they had to build him up, Lionel Messi. But now they reckon he's like he's made out of concrete. You can't barge him off the ball. He doesn't look over big, does he? But yeah, and obviously when you've got the skill levels that he's got as well, he just has the ball on a string too. That helps him. But here come Croatia again.
Yeah, Kramaric doing really well to take on a couple of players. He's still moving with it here, Kramaric, and turns back on the left foot. Still not giving the ball up as Perisic now receives it off him, and that's a really poor ball there from Perisic as he tries to pick out Pasalic at the back post. He was arriving there unmarked but couldn't find his teammate, and it flies over the crossbar. Another good chance wasted.
Yeah, I mean, he's a funny player, Perisic. You know, he's got loads of quality. He's still a great finisher, but nowadays his legs don't just seem to get him up and down the pitch that much, do they? You know, you got to sort of put him in the right place, really. You know, and even then, when he's inside the area, just couldn't hook his left foot round that ball. Anyway, Argentina 2, Croatia 0. It remains. And it's been a funny half, you know, but you've got to take your chances at this level. Argentina have done that, and they've been lethal tonight, really. You know, they've hardly had a chance, but what's been given to them, it's been taken. So far they've had 5 efforts, 4 on target, and Croatia, for them, yet to trouble Emi Martinez whatsoever.
Yeah, just saw clips on our screen there of Ronaldinho watching his South American buddy, Lionel Messi. Spent time together at Barcelona in the early stages of Messi's career, and Argentina have picked the ball up in a dangerous area here. Messi does really well to evade the challenge from Brozovic, taking on a couple of players here. He's still going, Messi. He's kept the ball with Vardiol and Brozovic all trying to take the ball away from him, and then overcomes Kovacic, and Brozovic has gone into a challenge on Lionel Messi, and he's, just like you said, got the ball on a string at his feet. It was fantastic there to break away, and they couldn't get the ball off him. Just magical when he's got the ball there and brought to ground. I think he was given, the linesman may have given a free kick, or it might be half time there. Maybe not enough time to play, and that is going to be half time. We're going to go into the break. Argentina leading 2-0 against Croatia. It's going to be a mighty challenge for the Croats to get something back in the second half, but it's all theirs for the taking. It's Argentina 2, Croatia 0.
Well, we are at half time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've one foot in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and then thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've one foot in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and then thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've one foot in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and then thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've one foot in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and then thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail
in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and then thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi did the job, and then Alvarez again going through one-on-one road to challenges and thumped the ball home for 2-0 at the break. Well, we are at half-time. Are at half-time in Lusail in the World Cup semi-final, and Argentina will feel they've won for in the final at 2-0 at the break. First goal came courtesy of a Lionel Messi penalty after Julian Alvarez went one-on-one with Dominic Livakovic. Tried to think the ball past him, but then there was contact. Referee pointed to the spot. Messi and Argentina will
right at the back, and we just saw a free kick there, floated across, but out came Martinez and took that comfortably. So, yeah, 2-0 to Argentina. Very difficult for Croatia to get back in, but one goal brings two. And oft times it's said that 2-0 is one of those funny scorelines. You don't quite know what to do you? Do you sit back and defend? Well, if you do that from too long out, then you're causing yourself problems. But then, if you think about, oh, we'll hold the shape and attack, sometimes that happens really half-heartedly. You get caught between those two ideas, and then you end up doing nothing. So, 2-0 seems like a great scoreline for Argentina, and they would take it. But it's not without its problems, Harry.
Yeah, I think they've got the luxury that they've learned from the group game, the first game they played in this World Cup against Saudi Arabia, where they took their foot off the gas and got punished. So I think they'll definitely be cautious to not do that here, and they'll want to be sharp as Messi finds himself in the edge of the box, will just break off.
Yeah, and then a little flick from Kovacic made sure that the ball was taken off him, and then it's a scrap for the ball. Won by Argentina. Was there a foul at the edge of the box? McAllister went down, he's holding his head, nobody's going to stop for him. And then a shot comes in, but in the end the effort from Paredes is struck right down the middle. McAllister's gone down holding his head there, and our referee's done a good job of ignoring him, because I don't think there's anything wrong with him, and I certainly don't think there's a head injury there.
No, he's just seeing a replay now. He doesn't really seem like he took much. Oh, there was a knock off the shin there from one of the defenders from Croatia. I think Vardiol stepped across him, caught his head with the shin. There was definite contact. He went down holding the head, but he's back to his feet, so he is okay. I think he just went down initially to try and win a foul, but didn't need to, as they had a good shot.
I think that's the problem there, isn't it? Where I thought the referee was right there to ignore him, but in the end, you know, he got clipped on the head, and so maybe the referee should have just stopped it and checked it out, rather than think, you know, I know better, which is what I thought. But then it's not my job to referee anyway. Strong challenge there, and in the end, well, the Croatian fans are giving voice. Don't think there's any changes, are there? Trying to work out.
Vlasic has come on.
Nikola Vlasic, 13, isn't he? So
and Orsic.
And well, we've just seen Brozovic go off as well, as Petkovic has just come on. So yeah, we'll go through that in a second. Petkovic will go up top. He's a big man, and again, it's an opportunity, isn't it, to sling the ball in the mixers. So yeah, one or two changes actually, and we'll try and sort that out for you. So Vlasic and Orsic, and now Petkovic in what's very much all change. Croatia played okay, but clearly, they need something else. Sosa and Pasalic, the two who'd gone off before Brozovic, being replaced by Petkovic, who flicks the ball out of his feet, and in the end, the danger dealt with there by the Argentinian back four, who will have a little bit more to do. Kramaric now is a bit deeper on the ball, Petkovic ahead of him, as Modric now gets on the ball. I think it's like Godalic there being bold and brave, and I think he had to do that.
Yeah, he does. Now it's 2-0. They've got a half a football to really change the game. He's brought another striker, an extra winger. I think Perisic will drop into that left-back role now and maybe a little bit more freedom going forward, but they're definitely going for it, and it's nice to see. You want to see a manager go for it. He's not going to roll over and accept defeat, but it's going to be an uphill battle, but they've got the players on the pitch now that they've got probably the numbers going forward, and they can really just outdo Argentina if needs be, so they've definitely got a chance to maybe take something from the game, but Croatia have settled the ball down inside the Argentina half. They're moving forward. It's been lost there in the middle by Petkovic. Argentina will come away from it, and now Alexis McAllister will look to play a ball over towards the far side. He's not going to do anything with it though, and it's fallen to Petkovic once again in behind, looking for the run there of Kramaric, but he hasn't managed to pick things up. They will get another bite of the cherry though, as Nikola Vlasic just twists and turns away as Juranovic picks the ball up in the right back role. Kovacic moves the ball forward. He's played a nice ball in towards the feet. He's got it back there. Kovacic, it's nice play from Croatia, but they've not managed to make anything work, but they're still in possession. Nikola Vlasic out on the right hand side, twists and turns away onto the left foot, gets a ball into the box. It's taken a heavy deflection, and Emi Martinez will settle things down, but Croatia looking likely to get something in the game. If it's going to be a consolation goal or not, we'll have to wait and see, but it was a nice ball from Vlasic. He was unlucky that it took the heavy deflection. Emi Martinez pretty comfortable in the end in terms of halting the attack. Emi Martinez with the ball in his hand. He'll take his time in taking the goal kick, plays a long ball forward. Looking for Julian Alvarez. He hasn't managed to pick it up though. It's been headed forward there by Perisic. Molina, very half-hearted. Ball in behind. He's lost possession. Now Kovacic been brought to ground there by Rodrigo de Paul, and the referee definitely giving it in favour of the Croatians, as de Paul maybe a little bit too heavy on the challenge when he tried to dispossess Kovacic there, so they'll get the ball back in their favour. Luka Modric looks to pull the ball forward. He's scooped it over the top, but hasn't picked out a teammate. It's gone out of play for a throw-in on the far side, and Argentina will look to settle things down. Now, they started the first half pretty slowly, did Argentina. They got lucky a couple of times with a couple of good breaks from Croatia, but they held on and got their 2 goals, and now they're in the driver's seat. Be interesting to see whether they have the same sort of run of the play in this second half, and if they can manage to hold on as Croatia are building up a bit of pressure.
Yeah. Argentina 2, Croatia 0. Juranovic on the ball, and then he rolls it into midfield. Got to tell you, I'm absolutely wet. I've just poured a hot chocolate on myself. I don't know why I did that. Silly thing to do in the circumstances. Anyway, here is Guardiola on the ball, and Croatia trying to get back into it, desperate to do something, as the ball floated from Lovren, but too far there, and Perisic's never going to get on the end of that. Like we said, all change. But sometimes when you do that, it takes a while just for everything to sink in. The new partnerships and what the plan actually is, as we see Vlasic run round there. So they're going to have to play with spirit, probably about 20 metres higher up the field if they can, without leaving the door ajar at the back, as Juranovic now over the halfway line flicks the ball out of his feet, and he was looking for the number 13 Vlasic, who's peeled off on that right hand side there. Otamendi got stuck into him, and actually did a good job there of defending the ball and making sure the ball went out.
He is a good defender there. Good show of strength there from the defender, the former Manchester City defender. He did well to step across. Vlasic really had no control over possession at all. He did well to get himself in between the man and the ball. But Croatia, just like the first half, they've started pretty strong in the second half. They're controlling play, but we know how Argentina can just turn the screw and get a chance out of nothing. They didn't need many chances in that first half to get their first goal and the second goal as that as well. So definitely the more clinical out the two sides, and Croatia struggling in the final third. They haven't really had many clear-cut opportunities on goal, but they tried another one there. Vlasic tried to flick it over the head of the defender, but Argentina will look to break now, and the ball over the top, similar to the first half goal from Julian Alvarez. He gets the ball in behind, and he's got in support. Enzo Fernandez has a chance to get on goal. Good defending there by Vardiol.
Yep, and the ball won by Lionel Messi inside the box and then out. Again, the Croatia rear guard get there. Again, it was pretty good play from Alvarez, wasn't it? I just felt that in the end, Enzo Fernandez, his footwork just didn't allow him to get his shot away. Paredes plays it out to the right-hand side, and then Rodrigo de Paul, who, he's one of those important players, I think, de Paul, sort of an unsung hero, if you like, as Molina puts the ball into the box and nobody can get on the end of that. So, yeah, Croatia are going to leave gaps. They could well be exploited, but I think, obviously Croatia have to score next, don't they, and get the next goal. If Argentina can somehow find a way through, then I think it'll be game, set and match at 3-0. But for the moment, I think, Croatia, if they just nick a goal, could end up doing something, getting on a bit of a roll. For the moment, Argentina still at 2-0. It's all there for them. You love that 2-goal cushion, don't you, if you're a player? If it goes back to a 1-goal game, you feel like you've lost it. But for the moment, Lionel Messi's on the ball. Guardiola can't stick with him. He just flicks the ball out with his feet, gets it back now. Messi through, and it's a shot saved by Livakovic. Really good from the keeper at his near post there. Was strong. Didn't look like there was going to be a way through. Brilliant play by Messi, but equally a good save. Yeah, that low centre of gravity, Guardiola just struggled to keep up with him, and then he got the nice 1-2, the give and go with Enzo Fernandez, and just thinking there, it's a great save by Livakovic, but Messi has to go across goal there. He's tried to squeeze it into the near post. Livakovic had it covered all the way. He was always going to save it there. It was a good reactional save nonetheless, but Messi has to go across goal there, try and just poke it in at the far stick. That definitely would have been game, set and match there. 3-0 at just coming up to the hour mark. It would have been all in Argentina's hands. Vlasic now trying to get the cross in and puts the ball in. And, they're trying to get something going there, but in the end, Pekovic couldn't quite lay that ball off for a shot. However, they've recycled it now, just the edge of the area, ball in again, headed away. Otamendi gets the head before he could get to Pekovic, who's in the middle now waiting for it. He's a big man. Anyway, referee now having a word with Kovacic and Lionel Messi. Kovacic got booked the first half, so he can ill afford to get involved in too many skirmishes, as we see that shot from Messi again. Just a ball onto his left foot, and he just got tagged by Guardiola in behind him. That meant he couldn't quite put his boot through it. Yeah, it was good defending in the end, but Guardiola had to try and make up ground. He'd been beaten completely there by the Argentina captain. Messi. He's just so brilliant and elegant on the ball, and not many defenders in the world could really keep up with him, even at the age of 35, 36 that he's at. He's still arguably one of the best in the world, and Vardiol came back, just did enough to put him off, but Messi, like I said, just had to get the ball across just out of his feet and across goal there to try and test Livakovic. Look how deep Guardiola is coming now to deal with Messi. The ball goes back to Tagliafico, and now the ball flicked forward. It's one of those no-look passes, and sometimes it goes well, but for McAllister this time not. We've hit the hour mark. Argentina 2, Croatia 0. The game might be settled already, but Croatia can't think about that. They've just got to keep rolling it out. 2 goals the first half. One a Lionel Messi penalty, and then a goal from Julian Alvarez. Enough to separate the two teams. There's not a golfing class between them, not at all. But Argentina have taken their chances, and that's simply it. They've been clinical tonight so far. And really, we're closing in on the hour mark. Martinez has really had nothing to do. No, he hasn't really. I mean, he's not been tested at all. Every time Croatia get the ball forward, it seems like they're just a bit nervy, and they don't really want to
bite the bullet and just go for an effort from range, but the later the game gets on, they're going to have to try something like that, shots from range, because they're trying to work it into the penalty area. Argentina's defence are standing astute. They're being very regimented in the way they've set up. They're not really allowing any chances to leak through. Best chances Croatia had were in the opening minutes when they were finding them gaps in behind. You just wonder if that ball to Kramaric managed to make its way to him in the first half, the one that went straight through the middle of the defence. If he got on goal there, it could have been a completely different game, but for now they've had nothing really going forward, Croatia, albeit the possession.
Yeah, it's all bits and pieces, isn't it? Referee is given a free kick there. Is it the first one on Modric or the second one on Petkovic? I don't know which one it was, but let's take a look. Ooh, and pretty agricultural challenge there from Paredes, and it may well be that Daniel Osato has seen and didn't like. Argentina are ready to make a change now, and it looks like that man is going to go off, Leandro Paredes. So he played pretty well today, and you know, we'll have a chance of getting in the team for the final. But for now, his race is run, and I think it's important that they get fresh legs out there. So so far so good for Argentina, and Paredes, of course, he's going to take his own sweet time to make his move, and it is Lisandro Martinez who comes on, the Manchester United centre back. So it sends a message out that they're going to defend. I'm not sure necessarily that was a wise thing for Scaloni to do.
Yeah, I mean, Martinez can play in that midfield area, so maybe it's just more of a defensive reinforcement as opposed to a back three. But the ball's come into the box, and Dejan Lovren's had a massive chance there to get Croatia something back from this game, but he's just been bundled out and just crowded around the box. A good save from Emi Martinez to deny him, and the second one that came in was never going to go on target, so a really big opportunity for Croatia to maybe sense their way back into the game, but they're coming forward again. It's just not sticking, is it? Something's just not ticking for them in the final third, but it was a massive opportunity and a big chance.
Yeah, I mean, the ball was in the box there. I think you could call that a melee, all right, and you know, just somebody needed to get their boot through it and hit the back of the net. It doesn't have to be glamorous or attractive football, it's just got to be effective, and it very nearly was. I still think they've probably got a height advantage as Tagliafico makes a move, and the little flick ball to him means he's got to go fetch it rather than bomb through on goal, but it wasn't bad. And now Julian Alvarez, who would be a strong candidate man of the match, flicks the ball out to the right hand side. Messi shrugged off it by Perisic, who is a big strong fella and always has been. As we take a look again at what happened there, the Croatia header, there was a great block on that, wasn't there? Almost point blank, but that header was from about 3 yards out. Anyway, Juranovic now bombing on, but he's stopped by Tagliafico, who's done a great job. McAllister over the halfway line. This game really now swinging left to right, isn't it? And both teams are going to get chances before the end of this. It's very open.
Yeah, it's really open, but just see there, the game has a feel about it, like it's in the 89th minute or something, not the 63rd. There's still plenty of time to go, and Argentina, they won the ball back. Croatia didn't have men back, and they looked like they could have gone on and created a counter-attack, but McAllister just slows it down to a walking pace and just takes any sting out of an attack that might have been there. And they're looking like a team who are trying to survive in the dying minutes of the game, but there's still the best part of half an hour to go here, and they're looking like they're already home and dry, Argentina. So they have to be careful when they make chances like that where they could go and grab a third and really kill the game off. They might need to take those, because if Croatia get one back now and they've just rested on their laurels, they could it could really come back to bite them.
Yeah, it could. It's an interesting game right now, isn't it? Really exciting. You know, for the neutral, screaming for Croatia to get back in. But here Argentina seem to be playing pretty well, holding players up the field. I said they brought Martinez on, and maybe that's just sending the wrong message. But actually, the players out in the field are keeping the shape, and they've got bodies forward like they do now. Messi won't get on the end of that, and I thought a foul from him. Definitely, I mean, it could be a yellow card that. Vlasic it was, who just got away from him, and I think the referee opted not to give him a card that time, but that's probably only because it is Lionel Messi.
Yeah, there's a bit of a nibble there from Messi, but I think we see time and time again from him. He can be prone to a little niggle that just sends a message to the opposition that he's just trying to win the ball back, and He didn't get anything given against him there other than the free kick, so maybe a bit lucky there to scathe the yellow card. But like you said, maybe it just comes with the aura of the player. He is Lionel Messi, that maybe gets a little bit more respect from the referee.
Yeah, but they've won the ball high up the field, and here goes Alvarez again over the halfway line. He's got plenty of pace about him. Lovren hasn't got the pace to stick with him really. He puts a ball across the field here, clever ball, and Rodrigo de Paul picks it up inside the box, but they slowed it down now. Don't know what he's waiting for. Then he chips the ball, virtually gives it away. They're in a great position, so why not go for it? Modric then runs away with the ball toward the halfway line. He gets just an elbow into his back there from Alvarez, who can't believe that that's been given away. And then he boots the ball away, Alvarez. Silly that, really. But the referee stopped looking at that point. They had a great opportunity there, Argentina, and then it's like, oh, shall we go for it, or shall we play keep ball, or what shall we do? And they lost momentum.
Yeah, they did. Alvarez went through on goal. Tagliafico made a really nice overlapping run through the middle of the park, and I think I can tell what he's trying to do. He's trying to swing it to Lionel Messi there, who was in open space, but he's overhit it completely. Luckily, Rodrigo de Paul was there to recover. But once he got the ball there, the attack was almost flat. So it almost just fell apart in front of them. But if you just slot that ball through to Tagliafico, he's got a chance to break through on goal. Messi's there supporting him. Could be a nice cutback for an open goal, but I think it could really come back to bite them if Croatia start to feel themselves growing back into the game, into the latter stages. They need to take these chances when they've got the opportunity to break through on the counter-attack, and they could really take this game to Croatia and take the sword to them and finish them off completely. But they're not doing that. They're just sitting on this 2-0 lead, and it could be really dangerous, but at the same time it could be all in vain, as Croatia could get nothing from the game, and the 2-0 looks pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it's one of those, but you can't quite write them off. They've found a way to write themselves back in, don't they, Croatia? So it's silly to write them off at this point. Just looks like Argentina have got too much for them. I still think there might be a third goal for them. I fancy Croatia coming into it, and they actually played all right first half, but saw plenty of the ball, needed maybe a little bit of luck, but equally strong play from Alvarez today has been the difference. I think he has made the difference today between them. Won the penalty, so Lionel Messi thumped the ball into the roof of the net. And then he grabbed a goal himself by running through with two would-be challengers, Sosa and Juranovic, as our referee has shown a yellow card this time. And that's for Romero. Again, no stranger to a yellow card, is he?
No, he's a man who knows his way into the referee's notebook there. He just comes in behind Petkovic. Really silly challenge. Petkovic back to goal, not really going anywhere. Once again, I'm going to use the word rash to describe that challenge, and it's exactly what it was. I mean, he just came flying through the back of Petkovic. No real attempt to play the ball, just brings the man down, and very silly now later on in the game when they may need him to maybe make a tactical challenge if needs be. But he's now walking on thin ice on the yellow card.
Yeah, silly really. Anyway, we're 3/4 of the way through the game. You're listening to Independent Off-Tube Studio Commentary from myself, John Hogan, and now to take us through to full-time is Harry Jones.
Yeah, the ball over on the far side in favour of Argentina. Molina's just cheekily taking a few tiptoes forward to try and buy any sort of advantage he can, and Lionel Messi's broken away from Vardiol there, and he's doing really well. He's going to try and take him on once more here, and he's ball just stuck at his feet. Vardiol can't get near him, and he's still going towards the byline now. Lionel Messi, it's a really good play from him. Whoa! And he's cut it back to Julian Alvarez, and that is magical from the little man from Rosario. Lionel Messi with an absolutely outstanding run all the way from the halfway line, and he's turned Joško Vardiol inside out time and time again, gets to the byline, pulls it back for Julian Alvarez to grab his second of the evening, and that is game over. What a goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant, isn't it? He's so strong, isn't he? We look at him and think he always wants to go on his left-hand side, doesn't he? But here, Guardiola again getting close to him, but just showed him quick feet there. And then Guardiola gets alongside him and he thinks, job done. But he drops his shoulder, and then he's going a left foot and then a right foot and a cut back. We know he always wants to cut inside, but this time he's gone on the outside of Guardiola, just kept on going, just shrugging him off as well. How strong, and what balance as well. Incredible stuff from him. And then the cutback's easy. Alvarez in the slot, and there you go, 3-0, and that is game, set, and match.
Yeah, it's just absolutely spectacular from a player that, stuff like that, I don't think we really appreciate how good he is, because we're so used to seeing it. I think we take it for granted, but anyone else in the world does that, and he'll be in the news for the next week or two. With Lionel Messi, it's almost second nature now. I really don't know how he does it, and it's an absolute pleasure to watch him play the game. It's like watching art.
I saw a little YouTube clip of his son the other day, who just runs around everybody, doesn't he, in his age group. He's only little, and he's got a great little centre of balance, and he dribbles one foot onto the other, slaloms through everybody. So clearly there's more to come from the Messi family. But yeah, I mean, he's going to grace a final. Well, let's hope that nothing silly happens, or he doesn't pick up an injury, because it looks and it seems, doesn't it, like he needs to go fulfill that destiny. It must sort of rankle that you're probably one of the best players of all time, but there's always Maradona. And guess what? Even if he does win the final, there'll be people who say, well, he wasn't quite as good as Diego. But also he's got his fans as well. Maradona was a star that shone in the firmament really brightly for a relatively long time, but Messi's almost doubled the length of time that he's been effective and great to watch, a model professional and all that. Goals, plenty of goals, lots of them, lots of appearances, and and he can lift the team single-handedly like Diego did as well. So yeah, there wouldn't be much between them, and they're both world-class players.
Yeah, in my eyes, the best player I'll ever see in my lifetime, and I think lifetimes to come, as I'm not sure anyone's going to get near Lionel Messi and what he's done. And there's always been the debate with him over Cristiano Ronaldo, but I don't think it's close anymore. I think Lionel Messi's shot himself into a level that no one's really going to match or reach in my lifetime or any lifetime in the future, as Novaya comes on to replace Kramaric up front. So Croatia clutching at straws. I don't think much is going to change them though, as a shot comes in from the free kick from Perisic. It's from range, he hit it low and hard. Can't really ask for much more from the Tottenham Hotspur man, as he directs it towards Martinez's bottom left-hand corner, and good save by Martinez to hold on to it. Wasn't really any danger of it going in there, as you see shots from distraught Croatian fans who coming into another World Cup where they seemingly have overachieved after 2018 and they were fantastic there, but it seems like it's coming to the end of the road for the European side. They've just matched up against a superior side and a superior player in Lionel Messi, as there's been a challenge there from Tagliafico on this near side, brought down Vlasic. Not really much referee needs to do there other than give a free kick. Pretty obvious error from the Argentinian left back.
I think we'd all probably want to see Argentina France final. You can't hand it to France. They've got to go and beat Morocco, and we've seen in this game at Lusail the Argentinian crowd making their voices heard. They're the dominant factor in the stadium. But it would be the Moroccans, I would have thought, who outnumber the French in that second semi-final, as Rodrigo de Paul has run his race today. He goes off. They're going to make a couple of changes now. I think I'd be taking Messi off, because for me it's a case of job done, but I don't think they're going to do that. Anyway, they're taking off Alvarez, who has had a stunning game, and for all that Messi's been brilliant, Alvarez could be man of the match.
Yeah, Alvarez has had a fantastic 75 or so minutes, but he's going to be replaced by Paulo Dybala, a man who's almost a forgotten man now in Italy. He's not really lived up to the heights that he did maybe a few years ago. Lautaro Martinez embracing Julian Alvarez, showing him credit where credit's due, giving him his flowers, as he's had a stellar semi-final, and he's going to feature heavily, I'm sure, in the final, and that'll be a massive opportunity for the youngster from Manchester City, as Levaya looks to twist and turn away from a couple of bodies, back in towards the feet of Mateo Kovacic. Croatia almost fighting a losing battle here, as there's not really much more they can do or say. Argentina have been the superior side, and they've cruised in this second half. They got their goal, albeit a special one, but there's not much there's left to say, as they take the throw-in on this near side, back in towards Luka Modric.
I think they've defended their lead really well. You know, even at 1-0, we see a shot from range there from Livire, I think it was. No, Perisic, number 4 out of 14, and let fly there, and that one flies over. But when they grabbed the first goal, and I was thinking, well, there's an element of good fortune about the decision. I'm probably in a minority with that. Wasn't sure it was a penalty, but it didn't matter. You know, after that, it was up to Croatia to go and grab the game back, and they were going to do it all in one fell swoop. But what they didn't do was mind the shot. You know, they overcommitted to trying to get back in, and at that point they got picked off. That for me was the pivotal point. That second goal, just 5 minutes after the first. You know, when most teams, you know, most ordinary teams are thinking, let's sit back and just, you know, hold on to what we've got. They were lethal. You know, they got a little bit of luck with that goal as well. You know, they were flat really for the first 20 minutes, weren't they? But it is what it is. When they've needed to, they've stepped it up and been clinical, and then they've held the shape really well.
Yeah, they've just picked the ball away from Vardiol. He's had a bit of a defensive blunder there, and he's had a bit of a torrid time today up against Lionel Messi. He's had his pocket picked there as Argentina looked like they were going to make a serious inroad on the goal, but they've slowed things down, which is probably the smarter option, given that we've got around about 15 or so minutes left of this semi-final. And the ball's been taken away from Argentina, though. Petkovic down the line doing good work to try and hold on to it, but he's just run into a couple too many bodies as Argentina back in possession. Alexis McAllister in a 1-2 there with Rodrigo de Paul, and now Alessandro Martinez sprays it out towards the left-hand side. Tagliafico with a nice flick past the defender. He's trying to beat him for pace, but really good defending in the end from Juranovic as he gets back and plays it back to the goalkeeper. Tagliafico just didn't quite have the pace to burn there, but his side are back in possession now.
Yeah, you know, he's looking to go forward now. They've got 3 at the back, and he's playing a wing-back role. He and Molina can go further up the field. Another long ball here, and again, they can't get Petkovic on it. And now, you know, it's long ball from deep, isn't it? I think to some extent, Croatia have kind of given up here. You know, they're no longer being patient. It's just fling what ball they can into the box and hope that Petkovic can get on the end of it and maybe get a knockback or something like that. But they've got a little bit scrapping, and I think the belief's gone out of this team now.
Yeah, it's almost falling apart in front of them, Croatia. I think they realise they've been beaten, almost just going for consolations now, as Perisic does really well down the left-hand side, helps it further on. Good cut in there by Mislav Orsic, who hasn't gone from range, but it was always floating past the post. Did really well to chop in on that right foot there, but he was always going to do well to beat Emi Martinez from that sort of distance. He couldn't quite get it up and over and down quick enough, so it flies past the post. And it's almost... They needed to do this. They needed to play like this in the first half. They're going for efforts now from range. Perisic's had a shot on target from a healthy distance from the free kick. Orsic now trying to go from range, and at least they're trying now. They needed to do that at 0-0 when they had all the possession. They just weren't biting the bullet, weren't going for goal, and in paying the price.
Yeah, I think that you build up your own myth in the tournament. You know, for Croatia, somehow we'll do it. You know, we can go goal down. You know, and then we'll get the job done. You know, we'll leave it late. We'll do it tomorrow. You know, and sometimes you don't get the chance. You know, 3-0 down now, and thinking, well, there is no tomorrow, and that's it. I think in the final analysis, though, is Argentina have been the better team. You know, more clinical. We talked at the start about Davor Suker, Croatia's top scorer. He was a fine player. You know, not just a goal scorer, but a good all-round player. And I think, with all due respect to Kramaric, who has got the number 9, and he's scored a few okay goals, he's not that man. You know, I think you need that talisman playing further up the field. Today for Argentina, Alvarez had a great game, and of course you've got Messi, you know, just in case he doesn't. Now, Messi took his penalty well, is aided and abetted, you know, out of their attacking moves. Those two have been very good. But you can't say that for Croatia. You know, their best player is in midfield. And, you know, he's had his effect there as he has a shot and that rebounds off McAllister back straight into Modric's face. Just was never going to be his day today. No doubt Modric is a brilliant player, but he just hasn't been able to grab the game by the scruff of the neck today. And the difference is Argentina, their 2 best players have been the 2 guys up top. And that makes a hell of a difference.
really been clinical when needs be. They were under the cosh for the best part of half an hour in the first half, but when they got their chance, they won the penalty. And the second one that came, they took it away really nicely, thanks to Julian Alvarez. And then in the second half, a bit of Messi magic, which is such a common phrase throughout his whole career, but that really did give them everything they need. And then once they got that third, now they look way too comfortable. They're so relaxed. They've got a bit of swagger about them as they're going to make another change here, as Majer's going to come on for Croatia. And it's going to be Luka Modric, the captain, who's going to come off. And he's looking like a man beaten as he runs his race for the final time pretty much in this World Cup, and potentially forever for Croatia in terms of big European tournaments. He might be able to stretch out to European Championships in 18 months, but in terms of playing at World Cups, I think that's the last we'll see of him, as he gets a standing ovation from his country and his bench as he takes high fives. And
yeah, I mean, 37 years of age, very unlikely to see him at 41 out in a World Cup. A shame he's gone out like that, but he's dragged essentially a very workmanlike team and elevated them. You know, this team are punching, aren't they? Way above their weight, really, Croatia. They've been a good tournament team, very savvy and all that, and pragmatic. But, you know, in all fairness, I don't think that's what we want to see in the final, is it? You know, we want to see a team that's got that, maybe that bit of steel, but also flair that clearly Argentina have got.
Yeah, exactly. And whoever does end up winning this game, which is looking increasingly likely, is going to be Argentina. They'll have a keen eye on tomorrow's game and their bids to the final and who they're going to face. Looking likely it could be France, but Morocco are a team who have really stunned everyone so far. They've been so resilient, and they've done everything they need to do. They've been a perfect tournament side that we've seen this year, and they could easily stun France, but looking at the France side, it's going to be difficult.
It is, but sometimes you get a tournament team win the tournament. Never forget the Euros that were won by Greece. You know, nobody were going to give them a chance. See a shot there from, or are they showing us the goals or what have you? Just looking at McAllister's shot there was just wide. For a second there I thought it had gone in, but it came off the advertising at the back and then went and rolled into the back of the net to make it ruffle. Yeah, so sometimes it's not necessarily the best team that's going to win a tournament. You know, there's a place for pragmatism and a team who's going to grind it out, get to penalties. Same thing will happen in the final. You know, if it's 0-0, they don't replay it, do they? You know, your extra 30 minutes goes by in a flash, and before you know it, you're staring down the barrels of penalties. And both these teams know that. You know, both had draws the last round, both essentially then lucky to get through. But Argentina looking a cut above tonight.
Yeah, really nice bit of play there, and interplay between Messi and Dybala, and looking to break forward here. And Croatia looked like a team completely beaten as they're not even making any attempt to get back. Dybala with a really nice run into the penalty area, stopped in his tracks by Josko Vardiol, who's a player we've really praised in this tournament. He's been absolutely fantastic for Croatia, but today he's come up against a good one in Lionel Messi, and I think he's really been taught a lesson and maybe slightly humbled. As that's what happens when you come up against the best in the world. And that's a ball through and behind towards Lionel Messi. He's in a complete offside position there. I don't really think he wanted the ball, but he received it off Palacios, and Messi will just let that run out to avoid giving away the offside.
I mean, there's no shame being beaten by Lionel Messi, is there, for Guardiola? You know, he dropped his shoulder at the byline and made that third goal. It was just superb. But he's made a career. That's why he's the best player, or been the best player in the world. You know, you could argue Ronaldo at times as well. And undoubtedly, the best players score a lot of goals, don't they? And both have done that. You know, the way that Ronaldo's gone out of the tournament leaves a bad taste in the mouth, both for the tournament, for his teammates, for those he's played against, going off crime rather than going out and shaking hands with the opposition. But you can't argue that he's not been one of the best players in the world. And I know he was a hard trainer, went into training first at Man United, last to leave and all that. So he deserves his place in the pantheon. Oh, here's a chance for Croatia. Little flick on at the near post there. Nobody can get on the end of that. A shame for them. Perisic there. Lovren at the far post just couldn't quite get there.
No, it was a nice ball in. Perisic did really well to get on the end of it and flick it goal bound. I think Martinez was stuck in two minds there, whether to come or go. In the end, he left it. Lovren inches away from grabbing a consolation goal. He's received the captain's armband after Modric's departure, but he couldn't quite find the back of the net. It's pretty much a story of Croatia's evening tonight, as he just couldn't quite get over the line. As Juan Foyth looks like he's gearing to come on, as well as potentially Angel Correa. But just waiting for confirmation on the substitutions. They're waiting to make two more, and I think at this point it's just a case of Argentina rolling out some players who haven't really had minutes in the tournament and give them a feel for a World Cup.
I think that's right, and I like that. I think maybe there's no room for sentiment, but you pick a squad, and all the players that you pick, you think are going to be capable at that level. Why not blood them in the tournament? You might end up using them somehow at some point. Injuries, what have you. So give somebody a taste. And equally, it's a happy camp then going into the final. Everybody's happy. Foyth's had a touch, and they've all had a go. They all will feel part of it. Not that that would have stopped the celebrations tonight, but they've got to get their game heads back on. And then the other thing, they'll be hoping for extra time and all sorts tomorrow, won't they? They've got a bit more time to recuperate and all that. I would have taken Messi off a while ago. There's no need for him to be out there running the risk of, getting studs caught at the turf and twisting an ankle or anything like that, is there? Don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah, I mean, they've made their substitutions now. I'm not sure whether they'll get a chance to make any more, but for what they have brought on, they brought on Angel Correa, who hasn't really featured, as well as Paulo Dybala, two players who get into a lot of teams in this World Cup. Two fantastic players who, in a different side, would be thought of very favourably, but in this Argentina side, the likes of Messi and the likes up front of the players they've got, and just the versatility they have, it's a difficult side to get into. Lautaro Martinez hasn't even got a look in today, so he's another player that would start in a lot of sides. Inter Milan striker who's top scorer in the Serie A this season. He's not going to get a look in as Croatia look to bring the ball forward towards the left-hand side. Ivan Perisic has options down the line. He can't quite pick anyone out, so it's a long clearance there by Palacios, and it's going to go all the way downfield, and it's going to force Marvakovic to come out of his area to reclaim it. Josko Vardio will bring it forward towards Dejan Lovren. They've got bodies forward, Croatia, but whether they can make something work, I'm not sure, as Maya gives the ball away there, but a bit of a happy accident as Juranovic has picked it back up, fires the ball in towards the middle of the Argentina defence, but now it's Argentina who look to come forward. They've got bodies there as Messi tries to bring it down, but he looks slightly tired there. Like we've said, he probably should have come off a while ago, but he couldn't quite hold the ball down. It's a bit of a poor pass in towards him, but it ricocheted off the left boot out for a throw-in out on the far side. The Argentina fans are singing in numbers, as they should be, as their side are going to be going into a World Cup final come Sunday. Definitely won't want to lose another one as they're moving forward. Croatia, they've got a chance here. Maya has a shot from range, can't quite beat the goalkeeper there. It was a bit of a tame effort. Emi Martinez did well to get down low. It took a deflection actually off the leg of Christian Romero, so a bit of an awkward one for Emi Martinez in goal to deal with, but he did well, got down low, didn't parry it, kept hold of it, and it's pretty much job done for him in goal.
Yeah, he went down in instalments, didn't he? They've kept on going. You've got to give them credit to Croatia. They've had a good tournament. Clearly, their fans feeling sick now. They've been a nearly team. But like I said, in my opinion, it's a team that's been punching way above their weight for a long time, and they've done it again this tournament. I like the sort of golf analogy. So where are they? They're probably I don't know, a birdie or an eagle, if you like. And the team that wins the tournament is maybe an albatross. But anyway, not quite for them tonight. I thought they played quite well in the opening. Argentina played well for 5 minutes, then Croatia got on the ball. And until the first goal, they were seriously in the game, weren't they? I think that second goal killed them hot on the heels of the first. It was only 5 minutes afterwards, and then a 2-goal lead into half-time is pretty good. But the third goal obviously was the killer, and that killed off any chance in this second half for Croatia, pulling something off. I think even at 2-0 they were relatively sort of in the game. The third goal absolutely killed the game stone dead, though.
Yeah, we've just ticked over the 90th minute now. We're waiting for confirmation on the amount of additional time given by the fourth official. Juan Foyth looks to take a throw in from the far side. Levaya couldn't keep it in over there, so Argentina back in steady possession. It's going to be 5 extra minutes to play, and you think that Croatia, well, both Croatia and Argentina just want to hear the final whistle now. Argentina want to get things wrapped up. Croatia want to get the first plane back home after a gruelling evening where they've looked second best for the most part. They've been outscored by this Argentina side, and you say the best team have won this game, but they're still moving forward with Vlasic, back in towards Maya. He's got options in the box, it's in towards Petkovic, but the goalkeeper's going to get up. Emi Martinez did really well to command his area, jumped out very quickly, stopped any chance of a shot on goal from Croatia, and he's done well to stay switched on for the best part of 90 minutes.
Yep, so they're all singing their song. I forget how it goes now. I know it starts with Muchachos, and then I'm lost after that. So they've got their own World Cup song, Argentina. Messi's loving it out there. He's enjoying it. But it's a job half done for Lionel Messi. Is it written in the stars that he'll elevate his team to a final and win it? Well, he at least has helped get his team to the final. He copped a bit of criticism off the Argentina fans who said, well, you can do it for your club, but not your country and all that. They've not always necessarily all been in love with him. Clearly, he's got his diehards in the group as well who love him no matter what. But the football crowd can be fickle, can't they? And for his sake, it would be nice to think that he bows out with a World Cup win, and that will be emotional. But it may well be that France or Morocco have got other ideas.
Ball into the box was a dangerous one. Tagliafico did just about enough to head it clear. It looked like for a second it would go out for a throw-in and end up in quite a nice bit of defensive work from him, but just took a ricochet off the corner flag, out for a corner. So Croatia will have a chance to potentially send their fans home with at least something. As Maya steps over the set piece, it'll be a left-footed in-swinging ball. Can they grab a consolation goal deep in this second half? It's a poor delivery from him, dealt with pretty easily there by Dybala at the front post, who just headed it clear, but it's back at halfway, and they'll look to come forward with Kovacic. They've still got bodies in the box here from the corner. Vlasic has got a chance to dance between a couple of plays, done really well there, Vlasic, but he's snatched at the effort. High, wide and handsome from the West Ham loanee, and it's gone over and past Emi Martinez. He's just watched it wide as everyone in the stadium now is just waiting for the whistle to blow.
Yeah, they are all marking time, aren't they? But the Argentina fans are absolutely loving it. There's stacks of them in the stand. They're making a load of noise. It's a colourful affair, really. I feel sorry for the Croatian fans. And that big lump of them behind that goal that Vlasic just struck the ball to. But he was off balance, and that ball was only ever going in one direction. That was right up in the air. There's no doubt today there's no recriminations. There's no hard luck stories, really, is there? I wasn't sure about the penalty, but what I am sure about is that Argentina were the better team and by quite a margin tonight, so they will deserve their place in the final. I don't think there'll be too many tears from the Croatia players. It's one of those, they were never quite in it, were they? They're never quite close enough.
No, as they take the throw in, and they're just moving the ball pretty slowly now from left to right, maybe just seeing out till the full-time whistle. They won't want to get any needless injuries or any mishaps this late on. They want to accept defeat graciously and go home, but they've been dispossessed there by the Argentinians, and Palacios will look to bring the ball forward now. They'll give it out further towards Juan Foyth, who just turns back, and they're happy to slow things down. Vardiol just putting in a challenge on Foyth, but he's not done too well there, Vardiol, as Foyth just gets to the byline, fakes the cross into the box, will go back towards Palacios, and a good challenge came in there in the end by Levaya, but Croatia will have a chance to break here. It's Maya who's going to break towards the Argentina half late on in this game. The whistle's very imminent here as Maya gets it back off out towards the left-hand side where Petkovic will potentially deliver a ball into the box. He gives it short towards the edge, and Vlasic was there, but it's fallen towards Dejan Lovren, who'll go from range, and that would have been spectacular to round off the game if it ended up in the back of the net, but it was always rising. Martinez watching it over the crossbar, and it seems like it's job done.
Yeah, I like the ambition of that, but in the end it flies over, and they're all ready to celebrate, aren't they? I don't know if the referee's blown his whistle just yet. It looks like he has. And so Luka Modric gets off the bench, disappointed, but like I said, they were well beaten tonight. The story of the game really well. It was competitive for half an hour, and then penalty changed it all. Alvarez one-on-one was brought down, having dinked the ball over the top of Dominik Livakovic. A judge to have been contacted. There was a penalty. Little Messi stepped up and thumped the ball into the back of the net. 5 minutes later, Alvarez running one-on-one, managed to hurdle 2 challengers. Juranovic got a touch on the ball. Sosa did as well, but they couldn't get it off him, and he ended up volleying in from close range. 2-0 at the break then, and the deal was sealed in the second half when Alvarez again on 69 minutes made it 3. A tap in after Messi magic. He took Guardiola on, dropped to shoulder, beat him, held him off, and then cut the ball back for Julian Alvarez to tap in to make it 3. And it will be Argentina who make the World Cup final. Thanks for joining us.